So, hi.
Hi, everybody.
How's everybody
Oh,
doing?
that enthusiasm was about as good as a wet noodle, I think. Okay, I'm just gonna say this once and say it once only. Winter sucks.
It does.
Okay? I hate it. So
All right.
that's it.
All right. Is that your moment?
That's my little rant for today. We're supposed to be getting more, and I'm seeing it flurry out there, and I'm thinking, dang gummit, here it comes.
Dad
Oh,
gummit.
dad gummit,
Dad
here it
gummit.
comes. I keep forgetting about the dad part. I want to say, dang,
Yeah.
that's right. And then I think, okay, that's not it. But then I've already committed to it. Okay.
That's okay. I still have a cough that
Riveting conversation.
so every time you make me laugh, I'm gonna go into a coughing fit like I had
Sorry.
some kind of COPD emphysemic
And
three-pack a day
the
smoker.
the problem I have with that is I don't even know what I'm saying that's funny, so
Everything.
I can't even stop myself before it's
I'm
done.
easily amused, okay? So just
Okay, okay. Well, that says a lot for me. All righty. No comedy show for Lore.
so I'm trying to just drink hot coffee. But
So yeah,
after I made it, I should have made hot tea with lemon and it probably would have served me much better, but
probably,
whatever.
but that's okay. Coffee tastes better. Um, the what you're about to hear is a bunch of uh menopausal women coughing and hacking away and whining and moaning and groaning.
So, welcome to
So
Trend Talk with
welcome.
Lorie and Steph.
There you go. We should do a commercial, an
We
infomercial.
this is a sneak peek into your future life.
You guys want
Getting
crazy?
older.
We got a channel for you.
Yeah, we do. But we have a lot of fun.
Sure
So,
do.
who cares? Who cares if only six of our people like what we do?
That's right. We love you, six
We
people.
love you. Actually, I think we're up to like 27 or something, but
Oh my God, we're just breaking the internet. We
we
need to
are.
slow down.
All right, guys.
Everybody,
It is
my
up to
favorite
y'all.
saying, my favorite saying, everybody just calm
Calm down.
down.
Just calm down. We cannot handle the popularity.
Lord. So what's new with yourself?
I still have a cough after like 700 weeks of not having the flu. No, it's only been three. I don't even know. Um,
Feels like a while.
other than that, I apparently have turned my cat into a dog.
Sure have.
So I bought her a ball pit, but
Okay.
it is specifically for cats because it
Yes.
doesn't have like the kitty balls. It has the little fluffy cat balls
Yeah.
all in it. So at first she thought it would be the greatest thing. She just went under it and flipped up and made all the balls fall around. Now she jumps in it and does all and takes the balls out, drops them at my feet. I pick them up and I throw them, and she takes off running. She goes and chases down the little ball and brings it back to me, and then sits there and waits for me to throw another one.
When Dean was little, he used to do the same thing. George used to throw the whatever it was outside, and then he'd grab it and come running back. And
Yeah,
then so it was a big joke that, you know, leave it up to Nana and Papa to get a cat that's actually a dog.
yes, and she literally follows me everywhere.
Yeah.
If I like, she's not in here right now, but she may be eating. Um, but if I get up and leave my office, she'll jump out the windowsill and follow me. I don't even have to tell her to come. She just
Wow.
literally will leave whatever room I'm in with me and go poor thing, if I have to go upstairs to
Poor
get
thing.
something, she's like upstairs. And then I come right back down. She's like right back down. She just follows me
Wow.
everywhere like a little puppy. So I have the best of both worlds because she
That's
doesn't lick
awesome.
me and she doesn't piss on the floor when she's excited and all the things that dogs do.
Not
And she
all
doesn't
dogs do
smell.
that.
I know. I
To
know
quit
that.
quit categorizing every dog.
My apologies to all the dog
Uh,
owners.
yeah. Well, we have two dogs, and they're the cutest things on the face of the earth.
They
But
really are.
they have this habit. Well, how do we get on the dog and cat stuff? I don't know, but
You
you're gonna
asked
hear
me
it.
what was new, and
I know.
that's new in my life.
So, Boots will lay. Well, we've had to now crate him, okay, because he loves to chew. So he's still a puppy, and he's chewed all the rungs on the dining room stools.
Oh
So,
no.
like, if anyone were to put their foot up on the rung to get themselves up onto the chair, it's going to break. It's going to disintegrate. Okay. So that has to get fixed before accident occurs. Like we have company anyway. We don't. Very rarely. And the other thing, he'll lay right by the front step, and there's a window to the driveway, and he'll lay and he'll look at that driveway waiting for Megan to come home.
Aw.
So Meg got this dog as a personal support dog,
Uh-huh.
a little baby to take care of when Elizabeth passed. She's like, okay, I'm so she takes care of this thing like it's a baby. So and she'll say, well, it's a baby. No, it's not. It's a dog. It's a dog. But anyway, this Boots will lay on the top of the stairs and stare out at this window waiting for. And in the meantime, while he's laying there doing that, he gnaws on the baseboards.
Oh.
Right? So there's that. Now, the cute thing Obi doesn't do any of that. She's a really good girl, this dog, okay? But when someone pulls up in the driveway, she'll run around the house looking for her blanket to put in her mouth, and then she'll run with the blanket to the door. So excited that someone's home, but it's muffled by the blanket. Anyway, that's the crazy.
Animals are weird.
It's the cutest thing, but unless it's someone she doesn't like, then she'll not run around for her blanket. She'll stand at the window and bark. And I'm talking about anybody that's walking on the
Oh
highway.
yeah.
She'll bark until she can't see that person anymore.
They're an
And
intruder.
that's right. But anyway, they're
That's
good. They're
funny.
good. They're good little babies. That's the end of that saga.
That is.
Now, my week, I'll tell you how my week. You don't even want to know my week. Um,
There was snow.
I Yeah, it snowed.
And that's
uh,
that.
and end of sentence. Period. No, they we I just had it was such a busy weekend at the club. I had renter after renter after renter, and um yeah, I don't know if I've pinched a neck in my nerve. I don't know if I've pinched a nerve in my neck to go along with my menopausal frozen shoulder. Oh, Lord help me. But I could not. Yes, first off, Sunday was a write-off. I wanted to do my live, and I couldn't do that because everyone decided not to go home that night, which is fine. It was George's birthday, and blah blah blah. Anyway, that's over. But um, yesterday I went to clean the club after Sunday's rental, and the floor was just disgrace, so I had to mop it. And I don't know. I think mopping that floor did me in because I couldn't even move my neck. I had to pop Tylenol like no tomorrow, and I had the worst headache up my neck, like up into the back of my
Hmm.
head. Anyway, how did I get onto this whiny little subject of mine?
How your week was.
Okay, well there you have it. Whiny. It was a whiny week.
My
Not
hair
good at
wants to.
all. Your hair looks fine.
No, it was all
I'm
flipping out. It's a
okay, so
distraction.
let's get on to the hair subject.
Okay.
I have decided that dirty hair clipped back in a thing does it better. Dirty. It's dirty.
Uh-huh.
It sits there, and my clip's there, and my this
The headphones.
monstrosity sits
Hmm.
right by that clip.
Looks great.
Well, except for the white streak right there. Look like Corella Deville.
Mine's
but
all white, except the lighting I have makes it look whatever. Who cares?
you'll be all right. Your hair looks fine.
No, I
We
don't
look
care.
beautiful.
We are beautiful.
That's right.
Beauty is what's on the inside,
Oh, then I'm
way down
stunning.
deep inside.
I am stunning,
You are.
people.
You are.
Stunning.
You are. You're like a pinup girl. You're so
I'm telling
beautiful
you.
on the inside.
That's right. I mean, one of those.
I
One
wonder
of
how many
the
people listening even know what a pinup girl is.
who? Yeah, I know, right? Who was the stupid person on the red carpet lately that went nude? Like, can we just talk about that for a second? What
We
has this
absolutely
world
can.
come to where you can't even watch the awards without being people flashing their tits and their coochie and their like, what is the matter with this world?
Because we have made it socially acceptable.
That's not acceptable.
It's
I don't,
not.
well, that it can't be. I'm shocked that they were even allowed to do that.
And they
Like,
did. And
who
the
was it? Do you
flashes,
know?
it was,
Do
I don't know her name, but it was Kanye West's wife.
Oh, okay. Nice. So
And
P Diddy's best friends and all that. There we go. Whatever
I
happened to that subject, by the way? Is that all gone by the wayside because, something else has popped up that's
always,
important?
always.
Anyway, I can't even get on these kind of subjects because I honestly am
It's very,
I'm
it's disheartening
I'm
that
bordering on,
my
want
question is what husband is okay
yeah,
with that kind of exposure to his wife? I
right?
don't understand. I
I don't
don't.
get it either.
I'm sorry. Yes, you can, as beautiful as she is, and she has a great body. It doesn't mean we want to see it
Not in,
unclothed.
not in that context.
No,
Okay.
no.
Now, if he's doing a video, what does he do? What does he do for a
I
living?
think he's a singer. I think
Okay,
he's
so if he
a
wants to do a
rapper.
video and he has his wife floating around the thing, all power to you because I don't need to watch that. I don't
Right.
need to listen to his stuff. I don't even know who the hell they are. I'll be honest. But I certainly knew who she was when she was, out there for the world to see. Dear Lord. Anyway, she should be going home and saying some Hail Marys full of grace. That's what she
there's
should
a
be doing.
there's a part of me that, like, just from the video that you do see, I don't know that she actually wanted to do that, but
Really? Oh, there we have a whole other subject.
a whole other subject. But then
Okay.
I'm like, okay, maybe you didn't want to do that, then why did you wear it? Who knows? I don't know these people's lives, and it's not for me to say one way or another because I don't know their lives. I don't know what goes on behind the scenes. I don't know what kind of
Well, I could hazard to guess, and I don't mind hazard to guessing. I could make a whole great big thing up. Maybe it's wrong. Maybe it's right.
oh, I can make all kinds
May
of stuff up.
Maybe it's Maybelline. I don't know.
It wasn't cover girl, that's
It
for
wasn't Cover
sure.
Girl. That's right. Good. Way to catch that one, Steph. God, you
Give
so
me
smart.
well, that's it. Podcast over.
Yep.
I have reached the
I was
pinnacle.
just going to say, we have reached our max for the day.
That's all I can do. Oh, that's so
Oh,
funny.
gosh. So, our topic today, let's get right into our topic because,
I was gonna say we're like 15 minutes in and haven't even talked
we,
about what we're
we,
here to talk about.
we need people need journaling like no other right now. Okay.
Yes.
So, our topic is journaling and
Journaling.
journals and how they affect our lives and how do
What
we
kind of
keep a journal
journals?
and what do we do and da 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 da. And go.
Journaling. Oh, I like how she's like, this is da 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 da.
Go.
Okay.
Do you keep a journal? That's
I
what I'd
do.
like to know. Okay.
I have two,
Okay.
three. I don't know if one is considered a journal. Anyway, we'll get into what it is
Yeah.
or isn't. But I do. I have 2 to 3, depending on how you look at it.
And what are they for? Like, what do you use
So
them
I
for?
have a it's a wellness journal, but it's not, it's more like my mental, emotional wellness. So it's not like about weight or anything like that. Um, and it is on a classic happy planner, but it's just dot grid, right? It's not, I don't like lines because I feel like that like confines me. It's a mental thing. It's you know what it is, but dot grid, because I like to do like little boxes and put this thought in it and do,
Yeah, yeah,
whatever. So it's kind of like your creative journal where you just do various things.
yeah,
And I do decorate it with a vintage look. So a lot of my vintage papers and stuff like that, I will decorate it because I do like a pretty journal. Sorry, I drank that coffee
yeah.
too fast. Um, so I do have that one. I have my junk journal that is, it's not a memory keeper because that's not it, but it's kind of like my day to day. Like I just document, and this is something that you told me, just document something that happened that day, good, bad, or otherwise. It can
Hmm.
be a sentence or a
Yeah,
paragraph. And so I do have one of my junk journals that I write down the highlights,
yeah,
good, bad, or otherwise.
yeah.
Or
So my creative journal is like that. I'll
mhm.
just, put a sentence like, I don't know. The other day, I wrote down "fucking stub my toe." I stubbed my toe getting to my desk. Who does that? So I got my journal and I wrote it down.
Well, it's
Uh,
good though. So in the event that, a week from now and your foot's turning black, you'd be
uh,
like, "Oh,
oh, that's
I
why.
that's why."
But my point to that comment is that that's what I do in that journal. I don't write. It's not.
All your thoughts and feelings, it's not
Yeah,
deep.
I just write, things that happened in the day. I did write about the trip, a couple of things that happened throughout the
Oh,
days
that's
on the
good.
trip, just like as a memory, because you can have a memory keeper journal. And I've seen people do that as well.
I
Um,
tried that.
but go ahead, you finish your story before I so
No, it's
rudely
okay.
interrupted you with my stubbing of my toe.
It is quite all right. I tried a memory keeper. It stresses me out.
Really?
Yes, I can't.
But why does it stress you out? Like, what do you
Uh,
do that or
and
not
I
do?
mean, it's self-imposed. It's not like my
Oh,
journal
okay.
is sitting there telling me, you're not doing this right. You're blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
It's very much self-imposed. And and it's not that I'm comparing myself to others, but it's the words are hard. What you see as a memory keeper, pictures, and then you write what happened and blah blah blah
Oh,
blah.
yeah.
I can't. It's too
No.
much. So doing it in that manner never happened. But you want to hear something funny? Is there's no personal pictures in my house. There's two
Yeah.
because it became very overwhelming. What do I put up? I have 5 kids and I have 8 grandkids, and I
Yeah.
would just
Before you
be
know it, your walls are covered.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
how often do you change them out because they grow so fast? It was so overwhelming. I have none. I have the picture that all 4 of my kids graduated, their graduation pictures, but it's in one frame. So I got
Yeah.
like the 4 and put that in there. And then we went to on an adult kid vacation and we did one of those old-timey pictures, and
Oh,
that's
yeah.
in there. That's it. That's all the personal pictures that I have. Oh, my grandmother and mom. That's it. They're on
Yeah.
the thing. Because it's
Wow.
overwhelming to me, and I can't.
Yeah. Is that the end of your journals?
Oh,
Did
and
you
the only
say?
other one I have is it's basically like an idea journal, and it's
Mm,
beside my bed. So
yeah.
when things pop into my head or whatever, because they pop in and pop out so freaking fast, like
Yeah.
if I don't capture it, it's gone
Hence
forever.
the reason why I interrupt you sometimes, because I'll think of something and
I
I'll think
know,
and there's times I've said to you, remind me to say something about that, and then we both forget.
both forget. So and I think the older that I get, the more I do that, not to
Hmm.
be rude, but because it
No.
will be gone so fast and
Yeah.
it's important to the conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll just sit there like a lump on a log because
Yeah.
I had important things to say, but they left me so fast. But yeah, that's it. So I have that journal. I have my wellness faith journal because I do write my
Yeah.
prayers and stuff in there too. Um, and then the one that I have, just honestly, it's just for ideas. I tried
Yeah.
to do like a daily gratitude.
Yeah.
Again, that became overwhelming. I don't do it daily. I will tell you that. I'm not a
No.
daily journaler.
And that's what I was going to say with mine. I don't
I
date it because that's one thing I found that stressed me out is
hmm
making sure I went back, oh, I didn't write anything that day, and then try to remember and go back. No, I leave it blank. So my creative journal is all blank. There's no dates.
Yeah, mine
So
either.
if I feel like writing something in it that day, I'll go and write something in it and then usually because I've written something in it, the next day I'll go back and it's sometimes you just get busy and you don't write. So it's
Yeah,
okay. Now you just pick up where you left off and like I said to Steph, I sometimes I don't even write a lot. Like I'll just write a sentence
I
or
stub my
I'll
toe.
write, yeah, I don't know, just something happened that day or I just whatever. So there's
Hmm
things that you can put in there and I wrote them down. So I think the thing I'm saying is present moments, for example, things that are happening in the like right now in the present. Like you
Oh, I
don't
wrote about
have
my
to.
trip to Hobby Lobby and my
Yeah,
junk
see,
journal.
it doesn't have to be all in depth and oh,
No,
woe is me, but you
deeper.
can have one like that.
Hmm
That's what I'm trying to. I guess I'm muddling through this, but what I'm trying to say is journaling could be anything you want it to be. Like you mentioned your junk journal. Junk journaling, uh, uh, a lot of people like that look, that the aesthetic of the junk
hmm
journal, and then they just journal in parts of it, and it makes it look all vintagey and nice and whatever, right? Perfect. There's one way. The other way, what was the other way?
Oh,
There was
like
the
an
met.
Archer and Olive
Yeah,
notebooks.
yes. So there's one I'm going to do soon on my channel is what I'm going to call a book journal because I'm reading these books, but I don't, I want to comment on them.
Hmm.
Now, what stopped me in the past is I want to print them. I want to print those. Now, here I go back to my printer situation.
But
Like, seriously,
it is a situation.
I need a geek to come in and just set me all up. But I want to print off the cover of the book and put it in this journal and then write about. So that's one thing I want to start. I do have my creative journal and I have a journal. Uh, it's kind of like a dumping ground for like a health journal and so prime example is okay, I have to go get my blood taken. I have how did that go? I have to go the I was going to say the vet. The vet, well, that's what I consider her, okay? She's not really a doctor, but the doctor's requesting I go and take my blood pressure every day somewhere. Like that's not going to happen. I'm not traveling outside the house in
In
the
the
winter
snow.
time to go get my blood pressure taken at some random shop.
Why don't you just
Okay.
get yourself a blood pressure cuff?
Yeah, no, I don't want to be spending money on that. That's not important to me.
Okay.
I'd I'd rather buy a junk journal situation, a piece of paper or a glue. Yeah,
You'd
my
rather
glue
have a
just
stick
came
of
in,
glue than
right? If I die of a heart attack at my desk, so be it. It was happy.
the way it goes.
Anyway, the other thing was there's things that you could write in it, like the weirdest moment of the day. There's like it's just snippets. It
Hmm
doesn't have to be a full-fledged page. And I kind of correlate that full-fledged page to a diary, like dear
Okay.
diary.
Yeah.
Um,
So
I
and so
woke up
looked at me and I
I
was like,
yeah, I woke up late today and rushed around and I wore my clothes backwards and like just random
yes.
spewing. To me, that's a diary, and to me, that's more girly girl, like Kitty. I don't know
I
why
and
it,
no, I
it
agree with you.
but I don't know that I want to say that outwardly because there's a lot of people that still to this day keep diaries. They
See, the
call it a diary versus a journaling. So I
right
think that there's a fine line between the two.
for me, I don't like to write.
Oh, okay.
So mainly because I have typed for so much of my life
Yeah.
that writing it's tedious. So and I'm not, I mean, I can talk a blue streak, but
Really? You can?
I can. But to write it all out, no,
Yeah.
that's too much. When I write, I am straightforward and to the point.
Yeah.
Honestly, when I talk, I'm honestly straightforward and to the point. I don't do a lot of fluff. I'm not a fluffy person.
Yeah.
Well, my body is, but words. Like when I was in college and you had to have a word count, holy hell. You only need 2 sentences to describe this thing, and you want me to do like 5,000 words.
I know.
It was
I know.
so hard because that is not who I am. I'm very straightforward to the point. So for me to have any type of journal that is
Hmm.
wordy, full of, flowery things, oh, I
Yeah.
went on a walk and the sky was this beautiful baby blue and the clouds look like cotton and I walked by this trail. I can't. I went for a walk. Period.
Yeah.
End of story. Like it was sunny. It was hot. Whatever.
Oh
Like
my gosh, that's hilarious. But
so
anyway,
that's what my journals are like.
the one thing I wanted to try and do this year, and again, I'm going to use I think I'm using the Creative Journal for it. It's called what is it called? And I got this idea from Tracy from a Girl with the Plans.
Hmm.
And she started this transformational, what is it called? The Transformation Year. And basically, it's journaling prompts. So it's an app that, or a website, I don't know. It
Probably
sends you
both.
prompts every day to write about. And I've done it now a couple days and I thought, oh, that's pretty good. And the reason why I like it is it prompts you to think about the journal that you've got. Because a lot of times you
Out of sight, out of
you're
mind.
yeah, that's right. Your day goes on, da 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 da, and that's why I don't like to date my stuff, and I don't because I am forgetful that way.
Hmm.
Um, so this prompt is I love it. So that's one way you could journal is by using prompts. Just you know, but I'm sure you could get that on
You can get it
Pinterest. You
anywhere.
could get
Yeah,
it
yeah.
anywhere, right?
And
So
people
that's
post them on Instagram.
yeah.
I don't feel like I have for someone who talks a lot. I don't feel like I have a lot to say. Especially
No,
if it's not interesting to
yeah.
me. So give me a prompt. Let's see if I
I'm
can
gonna
if I
I'm gonna
can
go into my email and uh
read the prompt.
I'm gonna read the prompt to you, okay? If I can find it. So
Oh,
just
and
give me
I'm gonna see how much I can write about this prompt. Just because why not? This is an interactive
I think this is
podcast.
it. Um okay. Okay. That's not it. Sorry. Just give me a minute.
Take all the time you
I'm
need.
thinking maybe I didn't get my prompt yet.
Well, give me yesterday's prompt.
Okay. Okie dokie.
Because see, I've tried like the guided journals, which has a prompt or something, and I didn't like those.
The,
But
what do you
it
mean?
was a journal that every page it had that, how did you feel today? What did you
Yeah.
do today? I'm like, no, I don't have, I can't. But I think if it was a prompt like you're talking about, I can take it or leave it, and it's
Okay.
not in my journal.
So
Okay,
the one I got yesterday was talk about something that confused you today. Well, I could write on that for days on end. But I just wrote one thing. I wrote,
your
I'm
printer.
no, I'm confused. I wrote, I'm confused about how the Lions Club makes me feel.
Mm.
And it does, it confuses me because at the end of the day, it's a volunteer thing. It's, why do I get so worked up over it? So that's all I wrote was it confuses me why that bothers me. So see how simple it can be? It doesn't have to be a lot. It can be, but it doesn't have to be a long drawn out affair,
Hmm.
right? So that's
See, I
kind
don't
of,
think I like looking introspectively into myself.
oh no,
Mm-mm.
why? What do you mean? Why does it?
So like that, for instance, if I were to write, how do I feel like at the end of the day, how do I feel about, let's just say, running my business? Okay. And if I really started thinking about that, I think I would get very anxious because all these things, you know what I'm saying? Like it would just
Okay,
start
but if
bubbling up and over and become very overwhelming. But
okay,
my
so
thoughts run away with me. That's
okay,
my thing with being
so this is what I
introspective.
want to say. If someone were to just ask you that outright, what is the first thing that would pop into your mind and the first thing you would tell them? Not, don't even give it all the other thought, just the first thing. And that's the way I'm using it. I'm
Uh,
using it as the first thing that pops into my head, and that's what I'm writing down. I'm not
and
using
I
it
would
as a,
and I would do that, but then throughout that, I'd be like, well, why that? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like my thoughts would just be like,
oh, yeah. Well, I think you're using it to, you would be using it. I'm going to talk like as if we're all just talking, but
yes.
you would, to me, you would be using it as a um more of a, what's the word, like a diary type,
Yeah, but it
listing
would
all your,
like going to counseling.
yeah, yeah,
That's what it would feel like to me.
yeah,
As
yeah,
and it's like, well, how did that make you feel? And how'd that make you feel? Well, now I feel like I am gonna be like, oh, it just so, but that's a
yeah,
me thing, and that's why I feel like I don't delve too deep into stuff
yeah.
because then I feel like it's out of control.
Well, this one, this prompt thing, I'm going to use it, and basically the way I'm going to work it is I'm going to say the first thing that pops into my head. I'm not going to,
I might just try it because
and if I can't find something right off the get-go, then I'm not writing anything that day. And it's okay because it's not dated.
right, and who cares?
So no one's going to know any different but
It's
me.
not like you have to turn it in and nobody's, yeah, exactly.
Right?
Nobody is gonna know whether you do it or
Exactly.
don't.
So unless something just pops into my head and I could write it down like, a little bit, not doesn't have to be. And again, that was a sentence. I could do a sentence.
I
But
could do a sentence. It's just
yeah,
what
I'm not,
happens throughout the day after that, as my mind is like, why do you do that? Why are you?
yeah,
Really? Think about it. And then it's almost like the devil angel thing. It's like, oh,
yeah,
because of this, but why?
yeah. So another thing would be, so I seen it on uh not Instagram. I seen it on
Pinterest.
Pinterest, thank you.
You're welcome.
And it was had stuff like what made you laugh today? Well, like little wee prompts. We
Lorie.
could come, right? No, but see, there you have it. Like, it doesn't have to be a long, drawn out affair. If everyone's like, oh, like, and a lot of
And
people are
you're
like, oh, I don't,
absolutely right. It does not have to be
it
that.
doesn't.
And I have embraced that.
Hmm.
But again, something like if I'm just self-reflecting and writing something down,
Hmm.
but I think prompts pull more out of me, and that's what makes me like kind of go off a bit. If I'm just writing whatever's popping into my head without a
Hmm.
prompt, it's not as introspective,
Right.
which doesn't stress me
See, and
out.
it's difficult for me. What's difficult for me is I can't think about stuff on my own.
Mm,
That's why the prompts help me, I think, because I could think about stuff that's happened throughout my day, but then it usually turns to things that have aggravated me, things that have, you know what I mean? And it's not that I'm not grateful for certain things. It's not that I'm not a happy
right, but
person in my
that's
life, but that it kind of that's where I kind of tend to go.
right.
Like, oh dang, this the snow, it snowed again. It snowed again. Every day is like little flakes of hell are ruining my
Falling,
life. So
yes.
if I didn't have a prompt, that's the way my creative journal would look.
I think the difference for me too is because I do pray and I've write my prayers down. That's an easy way for me to get stuff out because
Okay.
I'm praying and it's all about,
What you're
whatever.
praying, yeah, what
Yeah,
you're
so
praying
it
for.
it could be me personally, it could be Kenny, it could be the kids, the things that are weighing on me,
Yeah.
I write it down, but it's in a prayer form.
Yeah.
I'm praying and I'm asking God or
Hmm.
whatever. And I think that is a difference. So I don't necessarily need a prompt as much as I just need to take the time, and that really is an honest answer. Is just
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Who does not have 5 minutes? I scroll longer than 5 minutes.
That's the thing.
So, and I could just sit down and the things that are on my mind, like for whatever reason, last night Oliver popped into my mind as I was going to sleep. I don't know why. So immediately I was just like, I just started praying, God, I don't know what's going on, if anything, but, look over him and protect him and law,
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
things. So the same thing with journaling. If I sat down and I quieted myself, things would pop up that I feel like I would need to get out,
Yeah.
um, and write it down in prayer form. I think that now that we're talking about it, it all makes sense.
Yeah.
That is the easiest way for me to journal is journaling in prayer form.
Yeah. And it's good that you have that way to do it. For me, I don't I don't want to look back on a journal that is full of negative.
No,
That's why I find the prompts um well
helpful.
helpful. But I mean, obviously that one wasn't helpful because it was, what confuses you today, or what are the things that confused you. So right away, to me, I take that as a negative because what
Oh,
I
I see.
wrote was a negative. But I'm hoping that the prompts will, I don't know. I'm just using them as example. What made you
Yeah,
laugh
yeah.
today? What, um,
It's just
if you
helping
could,
you sit down and write whatever it
yes,
is
yeah.
and to think
And I
about
don't,
things.
yeah, I just don't want it to be filled with poor me, poor me.
Right.
And
And that's
I
the thing
don't,
about prayer journals too, is
yeah,
it's not all about me. And a lot of times
yeah,
it is very much a thankful. I'm thankful for this and I'm
yeah,
thankful for that. And
yeah,
so yeah, I guess see, this is the introspective. It's me like picking
yeah.
apart
Picking
the
apart.
whys and the whatevers. Um,
So
but
the
then
other,
my junk journal is more about like the simple things. I went to Hobby
yeah,
Lobby and I got blah 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 and
yeah,
whatever. It's
yeah.
not deep.
So there's people that use journals for goals, which you talked about. You touched a little bit on the one you keep by your bed for
Hmm.
ideas, and so there's that. I've uh, the there's health and memory keepers journals. There's you know um, you can do gratitude. There's all kinds of journals that you can have for yourself. You don't have to
Anything
have
can be a journal.
anything.
You can
And
journal about your cat, your
mhm,
dog, your kids, your job. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like whatever makes you happy, whatever you feel like you need to document in some way, whether it's getting it out
yeah,
so you're not obsessing over something, or if
Yeah,
it's to document the progression, you can journal about anything on any piece of paper.
exactly.
It doesn't have to be fancy. You don't have to decorate it. You don't have to do all that stuff.
Right.
Um, you can just, there's people who do it on phones on an app. So you don't even have to like have paper. There are journaling apps that you can do
Yeah.
as well. Now that's not my cup of tea, but
Yeah, I don't know that I could do that. Um, like I said, the only reason why I tried this was because Tracy was talking about it, and I thought, oh, you know what, let's try it and see. Because in my creative journal, that's what I try to do. I just try to do one-liners. Sometimes it's more, depending on the story I have to tell or the situation that happened that day or whatever. But majority of times, I just want it to be short and sweet. I don't want to write a
long drawn out.
whole drawn out affair of, so yeah, that's kind of what I use it for. And then the book one I want to start is for going to be for my reading, because I do read. It's just, I never write anything down. I started a book
I
one a
don't.
long time ago, but then
Yeah.
I didn't finish it. Well, one, it was in a big. How much can you write in a big about a book? So I got this little one, and I'll show you what it is. Pardon me. But I've got this, and it's got little books on it. See it?
Oh, cute. Is that
So that's
Arthur
what
and
this.
Olive?
No, this is from Planet with Stickers. Has
Oh,
it?
okay.
So it's just a dot grid.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought this is going to be perfect for my book because it's teeny tiny. I
Yeah.
could do two books on one page. I don't have to have one
Right.
page per book,
Yeah,
right? But I
yeah.
thought, you know what? That's what this is going to be for. And I just need to teach myself how to print the book
So I have
and use
a
a sticker.
suggestion. So instead of waiting until you can print the books, why don't you go ahead and set up how you want it to look? Leave a space for the printed book, but you can
Hmm.
still write it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So you can, that way you don't feel overwhelmed about having to go back or I missed out on so much. You can
Yeah.
have everything there. And then once you figure out the
Yeah.
printer part,
That's a good idea.
because I know I get hung up on stuff like that. It's like if it's
Yeah.
not all together, then I'm not starting it until it
Yeah.
is,
I'm
but then I
kind
miss
of like that
out.
because I like to finish it,
Yes.
right? I like
But if
to,
you figure out how big you are going to print those books, draw the little square so you know
hmm
that's where that goes, and then you can figure out the rest of it and then just add it as when you can do it.
yeah.
I get hung up on the same thing. If it can't be done right off the bat, I'm not doing it until it is. And I miss
Yeah.
out. And that is, I mean,
Good point. That's a good point. Very
so
good.
and
So
then it
yeah.
may prompt you to actually be like, well, I've got all this stuff. I really need to sit down and do these
Yeah.
books, as opposed to it just kind of going to the
I know
wayside.
I know there's a few people out there that have like YouTube channels on how to do it, so I just have to sit and watch that and figure out how that affects me and my, because I have Macs. So a lot of people have regular computers, and when they start
Mhm.
talking about, this and that and whatever, and my computer doesn't have it, then I get kind of
Yeah,
confused. I should
it's
add that
it's
to my prompt
frustrating.
of yesterday.
What confuses you?
What
Everything.
confused you today? I woke up. How's that? I'm confused. It's still winter.
Confused. It's still winter. I'm confused. Why is it cold and why is it
Why,
snowing?
why am I laying here shivering?
Why am I still coughing?
Right. So that's kind of, and you know what? I like it because it's something that I can do just for me. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
don't have to.
show it.
I don't have to show it if I don't want to. I don't. I mean, my creative journal's got nothing personal in it, really. It's just like I said, just one-liners. Maybe the trip. When I was doing the trip, I wrote a few things down in there that were, you know, but overall, it's just one-liners of what happened during that day. And like I say, I don't date anything, so I don't feel stressed about. missing a day, and I just
But do you
that
date when you write?
no, I
So
don't date.
at
I just
all.
write down my thoughts. I don't pretty much by the thoughts that I'm writing down or the sentence that I'm writing down, I could probably tell where I am in the
Right.
month or whatever. But yeah, I don't. I have not. It's not date specific. It's just thoughts. Is
Huh.
that crazy?
That's awesome. I think
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Well, and the only reason why I do that is because the date thing just stresses me out. I feel like if I miss, then I might as well not do it anymore.
Right.
Like,
No, I get that. And I know
so
you don't like pre-date. I just didn't know if you,
yeah, I don't
sorry,
date it. I don't date it at all.
at all. Hmm.
I write today. Had a great day with family and we had dinner and it was George's birthday or you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
That's kind of that's the end of it. So by that I can
Oh,
tell
excuse me.
roundabout what month, what
Oh,
and
yeah.
do we really need to know the date? I don't need the date, know the date because there's nothing date specific in there that I'm writing.
Right.
It's usually just stuff that happened throughout a day.
It's interesting. I've never thought about like just not having a date at all.
Yeah. What can I say?
You're amazing. Because
I, you know,
you're stunning.
I am absolutely stunning.
So, and all of your ideas are stunning. So
Absolute craziness. I
that's
have
it.
great ideas for everybody else. I just don't have them for
Girl,
myself.
that is the truth if I've ever heard it. Because I'm the
It's
same
so
way.
true.
I could advise you and just give you the most solid advice and
Yeah,
not take it myself.
no. And then I sit at my desk after handing out all the advice to everybody in the world, and I'll go, oh, what should I do? What should I do with this?
Poor me.
Poor me. Wow, it's snowing.
I feel you. I listen to myself give people advice and I'm just like, there's like that little part of me that is like, yeah, why don't you practice what you preach? It's different.
Yeah, it's so different.
So different.
It's easier to tell people what to do than
Heck
it is to do
yeah,
it.
it is. Heck yeah. Okay, because okay, let's just be real. I can give all the advice to all the people. Doesn't mean they're taking it. Doesn't mean they're
No,
doing it either, right?
that's
So,
true.
I
So
mean,
true.
because putting something into action, whatever it is hard. Change is
Yeah,
hard.
yeah.
Same thing with journaling. So, full circle is if you're not making the time for it, it's not going to happen. Like
No,
and again, it doesn't have to be, okay, I'm going to sit down for a whole hour and at this
yeah,
certain time and blah,
right.
blah, blah. No, but when I go sit in the fluffy chair, my journal's right there, my
Yeah,
prayer journal, right? So it's easy for me to grab and I have pens right there. I do make it easy and very convenient
yeah.
to do it. So when I go sit in the fluffy chair, I can just grab it and be like, shh.
Hmm.
And I do find sometimes I do have a lot more to say than I feel like I do when I sit down.
Hmm.
It just kind of all starts pouring out. So, but I don't have a plan for that. I'm going to sit down, I'm going to write out. No, I'm just, you know what? There's this one thing on my mind, but then it can turn
Yeah.
into more. And that's okay. Or it could be just the one thing.
And then there's some people that just don't want to do anything. Like
And
no
that's okay
journaling,
too.
no, and that's okay too. I'm just saying if you like to do it, but
It is healthy. I will
if
say that.
yeah, it well it certainly makes you feel a little bit better. And sometimes too it's a massive brain dump where you're not holding it all in your head,
Yes.
right? No matter regardless of which way you look at it because like or what kind of journaling you do, it's still the same scenario applies, right?
And you can
But
be real. That's the one
yeah,
thing I like about journaling is you
yeah,
can be real. You're not hurting anybody's feelings.
no,
So if there's something going on and I am ticked off, right, or angry, I can just curse them out and
I
read,
don't even
do all the things. 'Cause it's not going to hurt anybody, right? But I'm
in
getting it out, and so it's
in
not
all
festering
the
within me.
years we've been friends, I don't know that I've ever seen you that angry, like really angry. If I did, then I you hide it very well. I've seen you ticked to certain things, but not so pissed off that you need to
Oh,
go and
I'll
write it down ASAP before you, explode. But
I have definitely been that angry. My anger, if you'll know if I'm angry because I become silent.
yeah, I kind of get that way too.
Absolutely, because I know if I say one word, it's not going to stop. And I will say
Yeah,
things that I regret because, although my feelings are valid and although I feel that way, how I would go about presenting
a,
it
a problem. Yeah,
would be because it's coming from a hurtful place. Like
yeah,
when you're angry, it's because you've been hurt.
yeah,
So if you express yourself from that very hurtful place, you are going to be hurtful.
yeah,
And so yeah, I try very hard to not. And there's some things that don't need to be said. There's some things that it is a me problem.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
but yeah, I have been over the top. That and God help you if I start crying when I'm angry
Oh,
because
me too. That I've
that
broken a
is
barrier. There's a barrier there that I just broke through that barrier of
yeah,
complete and utter chaos.
it's and it happened to me one time at work to my boss.
No.
Yes, it did.
Oh,
And he wasn't the one that made me angry.
no.
It was another employee, but it was basically she was incredibly rude in front. It was an awful situation, and it
Mm-hmm.
and it angered me because it was very unkind and very unjust, very uncalled for, and
On her
very
part.
wrong on her
On
part.
her part.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so I went to report her, and the more I talked, the angrier I got, and then I just started crying, and I told him, I was like, look, I don't cry for any reason, happy or otherwise. Like I am not, I said, I am so angry right now, though, that it's presenting itself like this. And
Yeah.
so I had to apologize because, and I wasn't like, oh, I was like, and she, and the tears, and I'm just like, ah. It was so bad. But yeah, I,
Well, wow.
everything within me wanted to go let her have it and not
I
just
was just gonna
verbally.
say beat her up.
Yes.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
I've
As she
only been
coughs.
in one fight in my life, like a physical altercation.
Oh yeah?
Yep.
Hmm.
And it was over a best friend. Sorry, I don't know what Lacey's doing. She's like doing somersaults in the windowsill and making the blinds go. But yeah, it was bad. Kenny had to pull me off of her.
Wow.
I was young
Yeah.
and I could actually fight.
I could actually move.
Right? Now I'd be like, whatever. But yeah, so but I have found that if I do have those very strong feelings, writing it out, because sometimes you do need to talk to that person, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you're married. So you still have to have a conversation, but I need to get
Yeah.
out all the hurt and the
Yeah.
anger and the things
Yeah.
that are going to serve no purpose if I say them out loud.
No, sometimes it just
And
creates more problems, to be
well, yes.
honest.
Yeah, because it's coming from a hurtful
Yeah.
place, not from a good logical sound place to have a conversation. So journaling that out is very helpful for me because I can get it all out and then I'm like, or I you know message you, be like, I gotta talk, and I'm just like, so I get it out that way. So
Yeah.
phone a friend or write it
Phone a
down.
friend.
But getting it out before you have the hard conversation, it's a healthier way to go about those things.
Yeah.
So
So there, I guess that's our journaling
it is our
topic.
journaling.
I love that topic. I don't know
Yeah.
why. I think it's because it's to me it's an enlightening subject for everybody. And you make it what you want. It's almost like a junk journal, to be honest. You
Well,
make it the
yeah,
way
there's
you,
no
there's no
rules.
rules to it, no nothing, right? So you start off small and just write a few liners down and off you get. And before you know it, you're
Like you could have an affirmation journal.
anything.
That just popped into my head. It's like,
Gratitude,
yeah, you go, girl.
right?
You are stunning.
I'm
You
stunning.
need to write that in your journal today. I am stunning. I am a pinup girl. Stephanie said
Dadgummit,
so.
I'm a beauty.
Yes. And you said it right.
Said it right. I had to think about it for a few minutes, though. I had that one brewing in my head because I'm
That's
thinking,
so
okay, how
funny.
do I say that again?
That's awesome.
So
But
there you
yeah,
have it.
go forth, people. Journal. Write stuff down.
I want to know if you journal. Please
Yes.
tell
And
us
what
in the
kind of
comments.
journal?
Yeah, yeah. I want
Like,
to
what do you
know.
use?
What's your
What's your deal?
what's your what's your journal of choice?
Yeah.
And do you date it? Am I the only lunatic that doesn't date it ever? Like, I want to know that one. To
I've never
date,
thought about it.
to date or not to date?
That
That's
is the question.
that's the question.
Like, I
Okay?
don't predate, but I do write the date of when I'm writing the stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's just probably out of habit. But see,
Yeah.
that doesn't stress me out. It stresses you out. And that's okay. That's our differences, right? Like, I don't
Yeah.
like to be very introspective in my journals
Yeah.
because that'd take me down a psychological slippery slope. And I don't have the energy for that.
Because
So,
let's put it this way, if I were to date it, say I went in there and I dated it today, you know, and then I didn't get to it for another week, I would feel horrible that the last time I did anything in this beautiful journal of mine was a week ago.
yeah, but see, that's also like me and the
It's a me
self-imposing.
problem.
Yeah,
I
you're
know, it's a
self-imposing
me.
these problems.
And who cares if it's a week ago? But I care. I don't want to see
A date.
that. Yeah.
Then don't.
As crazy as that sounds, it just makes me feel less than
I get that.
me
Yeah.
if I've dated it and I haven't, or gone
But
on
you're
vacation and
not
come
you
home and haven't done nothing for a month. And it's like,
but you're
no, I
not the
don't.
only person in the world who feels that way. So
I know.
anybody listening is like, "Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
there's freedom in that. There's freedom in
Total.
hearing other people say, you don't have to do this." Because
Yeah.
we
You
do. We
know,
self-impose restrictions. Nobody else is putting it on us. We put it on ourselves.
rules and regulations
Yeah,
to
who cares?
everything.
It is a
Like,
freaking journal of yours. Do
yeah.
what you want.
It's not It's not
Write
like when you
upside
die,
down.
your family's gonna take it to the editor and get a book done by it.
I
Like
mean,
that's
it
not
could be that
happening.
good.
Well, like honestly, they probably won't even look at it. I swear, when I'm gone, pardon me, when I'm gone, the garbage bags will come out and they'll be just swooping the shelves
Okay,
off.
they better darn well be swooping it into a box and mailing it to me. I will pay for postage. Put it in your will, Lorie. Put it in your
Okay.
will. Stephanie wants everything in my room. Everything.
Everything.
She'll
She
pay
wants
for
it all.
all of it. It doesn't even have
Oh,
to be organized. Just swoop it into a box,
I'm
slap a
telling you.
postage on it. I'll take it all.
They're going to have to get a U-Haul and drive it to Texas
But
because
that's okay.
it's going to be too expensive to mail it.
I'll
You know how
I'll
much garbage is in this room? Anyway, that's
Okay,
a
but
whole
that
other
is
subject.
beautiful garbage that I would love to have. But yeah, so take off all the self-impositions.
Yes.
It's one of the reasons I love junk journaling is because there is no rules. And I do journal in my junk journal. And I like the fact that I can do it wherever. Like it can be on a page or it can
Yeah.
be on a tag or I can hide it. Like there's like a little bit
Yeah,
of
it's
fun in
yeah,
that.
it is. There is. So my last thing to this subject is going to be a prompt. Okay?
Okay. A prompt.
Some something you've learned today. There you go, people. There's a prompt for your journaling. Something I
Yes.
learned today.
I will write
Simple.
it something. I'm going to write it down because I will forget. Be like, what did you say?
Something I learned today.
I will put that. I will write that in my
It's
junk
so
journal.
easy, right? So how easy is that? Watched a podcast and learned there's no rules to journaling.
I
Simple.
learned that Lorie doesn't date her journals.
Yep. And she is stunning. Inside
And
note.
pinup girl stunning.
There you go.
You should be on the side of an airplane.
Dear Lord, a side of an airplane?
Remember how they
Okay.
used to put the pinup girls on the airplanes?
Did they really?
Oh
Oh, I was, I don't know. I was thinking like the Via sticker on the side of a train. It's just me speeding by in all my glory.
yeah.
Okay, we need to get off this subject. It's getting
Me
pretty
too.
cringe. Okay?
And I'm
Ready,
dying apparently.
ready, set, bye.
Bye.